Hi, this is Danielle Garcia from Intuitive Angels. Welcome to my online series, Another Day at the Office. As a medium, channel, and intuitive, I experience a lot of different things outside the norm, but that are actually normal for me. In this series, I'll explain some of my different uh, experiences as a medium, as a channel, as a healer, as well as a spiritual counselor counseling my clients. Today's topic is transition. One of the things that I do in my line of work is deathing. Deathing is the process of helping someone pass from the physical to the other side. Now, a lot of people ask me, gosh, that's got to be so depressing. How can you do that? um, how does this all work? So I'd like to shine a little bit of light on that for you. First of all, deathing has been around ever since time began. It's very much like the birthing process is, where you would have a midwife present, or you would have a shaman, a medicine woman present, to welcome the new child in, to welcome that soul, that spirit into the sense of community, the sense of family. And when I do transition work, it's very much the same, but instead of welcoming that new soul, that new spirit, you're allowing that soul and spirit space and support to leave the physical realm and go back home to the other side. Now, when I do this, I'll see the person's guides around them. I'll see family members that have passed on. I'll see angels, all sorts of wonderful light beings and helpers that will come along and assist the person with their transition. I apply different energy modalities to assist the physical body in releasing so that the spirit can pass and cross over to the other side. Some people that are in the midst of transition, you would be surprised, can still be in denial about things. Even if they've received a terrible diagnosis or, are in a coma, have been on life support, all these different things. And yet I see it time and time again. They will still hold on so tightly. They're not ready to go. Now, we as humans and as their loved ones, as their friends, as their family, may question, why are you putting yourself through so much pain? Why do you continue to suffer? What's the point in all this? But remember, what we think about somebody else, it really doesn't matter. It's their experience. It's what they've chosen. For whatever reason, they're still staying here on this earth plane in order to learn more, in order to grow more, in order to hold on, to give that one person a message. It's so interesting. I had this one client, and he was in a state where he could no longer speak. He was in hospice. I went to go visit him, as well as I worked with him distance-wise to help him release. Now, the whole family had gathered around, and they're very sad. This man's lungs were failing. He had other conditions that contributed to that. So the family is thinking, okay, let's just let him go. We're ready. We don't want him to suffer. But yet he would hold on. Even after the hospice nurses would come in and say, you really need to prepare for this. Is there someone else you want us to call? Do you need a minister? Different things like this. And this man would still hold on. And when I worked with him, I found that he had this terrible phobia. And he wanted to release that before he went on, which I assisted him in doing. But from the family's viewpoint, all they could see was the suffering. They couldn't actually see the healing that was going on in those moments of quiet, those moments of um, pure silence, when he, as the human physical being that he is, or was, I should say, was taking in the scenes around him. He was allowing his physical self to totally and completely feel the loving presence of home that surrounded him. It wasn't just his family here on this earth plane, his daughters, his brothers, his sisters, his wife. It was all those loved ones that were gathering around in that room, cheering him on, telling him, we're here for you whenever you want us, whenever you need us, we're right here. We support you in whatever decision you make. Whenever you're ready to go, we've got your back. Now, why wouldn't you want to work in something like that? Why wouldn't you want to work in those circumstances? See, I just have a different perspective on it, because when I work with someone who's transitioning, and it doesn't matter whether they are, whether they're someone who has lived a very pure religious life, or whether it's the recovering alcoholic, or whether it's a drug addict, or, it doesn't matter their stature in life. It doesn't matter their creed. It doesn't matter their race. It doesn't matter their color. It doesn't matter their religion. They all have people ready to welcome them home. They all have their own spiritual cheerleaders that are ready to help them cross over and make that journey whenever they're ready. I've got to tell you, one of the most rewarding things about the work that I do is looking in another soul's eyes as they cross over. Because as we transition from a human physical presence to a spiritual presence on the other side, we start to release through our physical selves. And that starts with the feet. And it then goes up the legs to your first chakra, your second chakra, your third chakra, etc., etc. And the last release point is through the crown of the head. So as a person is releasing, I can sense energetically, okay, there's no more energy going on down here. They've moved up a little bit, and now it's up here and further and further and further. But to see someone's expression in their eyes and have them look directly in your eyes as the last thing that they see in this physical plane as they cross over, it's pure joy. It is pure unconditional love. It's as if you're looking in the eyes of God. And it's just a wonderful, amazing thing. Death is nothing to be afraid of. It's just looking at things from a different perspective. What we are so far as a soul and a spirit, that will never end. It's only this physical vehicle that we have that will end. And even then, with everyone else in this world whose lives we've touched, does it really end at all, even within the physical? Just something to think about and ponder on this Tuesday morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Take care and tune in for our next episode. Blessings.